Hey y'all, Jeanette here from Southern Blend and Sass, and welcome back. We're going to do another project. I'm going to teach you how to make this wonderful little bumblebee beehive right here. You have a few of these on my website while they last. This is kind of a seasonal thing. But I'm going to show you how to make that. It is pretty intensive. It will take a while, so sit back and relax. This might take a few minutes. All right, what you're going to start out with, and I'm not sure if your Dollar Tree still has these or not. You might have to check a few of them to find it, but they had these egg things that they put out. See? That's what it looks like. Well, I did like the egg, and I wanted the beehive shape. So I figured out that I could cut this, and that they actually cut pretty easily with an X-Acto knife. I just want to get my size here from using a different one. Okay, you want to, I forgot to bring a ruler. You want to bring it up to about right here. Put a ruler down, which I do not have. I forgot mine. I'm just going to use this for a guide. We'll see how well it works. But you take out your X-Acto knife. I have several different kinds, but the one that I like using the most is this one. It's retractable, although the blades are a little flimsier than what I'd like. But what you're going to do is you're going to score it gently the first time, a little bit harder the next time, and I suggest scoring it about 3 times to get it all the way across. This really works better with a ruler. Yeah, definitely better with a ruler. But once you get your first score in there, then you can just follow back along it. You don't really need the ruler as much. This is kind of hard on this particular X-Acto knife because the blade is so flimsy. Let me try the other one. The blade is just so small. There's a regular one. Make sure it's good and tight. But you're not going to go all the way through it, so don't worry about cutting into your table. Especially the first time, second time through. But that's all you're doing is you're just going through and scoring so that it cuts through like that. Now, once you get a good score in there, which I'll kind of show, I don't know if you can see my line, put it on the edge of your table like this and go, and it will break right off. But then you have a perfect line on this side. All you have to do is take your knife, cut along that edge, in that crease, and voila, you got your pieces. Okay, then you pitch that, keep it for another project, whatever you want to do. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to do the beehive on this side, and it will cover up all of this mess. That way you have a completely blank side on the other side. You don't have to worry about painting it and stuff. Clever, huh? All right, next thing we need is a black piece of paper. Now, you could possibly use a marker, but you're still going to see this glitter and stuff. So you're better off getting a piece of paper. You can use scrapbook paper, cardstock. You can use construction paper. That would work. Any kind of black paper would work. Even if you took some regular paper and just colored it black with a marker, that would work too. But cut you a square. I have a lot of scrapbook pieces, so I have a lot of stuff to work with. But cut you a piece, and then using your scissors. Now, if you're not good at cutting circles, that's fine. Do whatever you have to do to create your circle. You can use and it doesn't even have to be perfect. Okay. And to be honest, you don't even have to cut a circle if you don't want to. But it's a good guide. All right, and you're going to hot glue this down. I can see smoke coming. This glue gun gets really hot. So I have to be careful because I have a bad habit of burning myself. All right, and I want it about an inch up and eyeball it right, in the center. So that's going to look like that. Okay. Now your next step is you want to get you some good rope. All right, I found this. It was a huge roll when I got it. I found this at Harbor Freight for I think around $5. So it wasn't too bad price wise because we like to craft on a budget. So all you're going to do is take your rope and lay it across here to get a measurement. You're going to take it from this end. Make sure you go all the way to the end to right there. And I hold my thumb there so I know exactly where to cut. Now trying to cut this with scissors, don't do it. It's not this rope. This rope is hard to cut. So I use these little side cutters that I have, my handy side cutters, but you could use, I'm thinking garden trimmers, like your pruners would probably work pretty well. But I just go around and cut and cut and keep cutting until I get through it. There. Now we have our piece of rope. Now what you're going to do is, and I hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to show you. I'm doing it upside down. You're going to run you up. I'm going to get you some more glue first so you don't run out. I always put a little bit of glue right there and then stick it in here and attach it to the last glue stick. That way I don't have to sit there and try to hold it there while it's feeding through. But run you a bead of glue all the way across here. You're going to go through a lot of glue with this. And then put your piece on. Don't put the glue on the rope and then try to glue it down because you're going to burn yourself. Trust me, I know. Okay, just put it there until it sets itself up. As you can see, I have rope going all the way across. Now you're probably thinking, well, what do I do when I get to the hole? Okay, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me go through the entire thing. What I'm going to do is pull this one that I've already finished, adding all my rope to. What you do is you do full piece, full piece, full piece, until you get to where your circle is starting. Then you start cutting them over here. You start from here to here and measuring them out and cutting them here to here. And then when you get to the top of your circle, do one all the way across and keep going all the way up, gluing, gluing, gluing until you get it completely covered. Then after you're done with that, you're going to do your circle. When doing your circle, put your seam where the two ends are going to meet at the very bottom, okay? Just set your rope down in there, measure it, shove it into any spots that are not even, where your rope is cut and it kind of is squared off. And then you figure out where you want to cut it. You're going to cut this piece, just like you did the other ones. Trust me, this gets very painful, trying to cut all this rope. If you don't have good scissors or good cutters. Okay, now you take your glue gun, run you a bead of glue all the way around, just like that, a good size bead. Now, starting at the very bottom, make sure you're shoving it into any crevices. Cram it in there so that when you're done, you have your circle in the center, okay? And don't worry about the seam down here because we're going to cover that up, okay? So now that we've got that much done, the next step is to make the bumblebees. And I did forget to bring the toolie out. Okay, well, that's fine. Yeah, just 1 second, y'all. Get that there. I'll have to use something else, that's all. Okay. Next step, we have to create the bumblebees. Okay, you can go to Walmart or Hobby Lobby, and what you're going to look for are these beads that have a hole in the top of them. See, it's just a round circle, but then it has one hole in the very back. Okay? Get you a pack of those. They're not very expensive either. And then get you a pack of these. You can see what those look like. There's 2 different sizes, so depending on what size bee you want is the one that you choose. I chose the smaller one, and that's the butt end of the bee. But you take one of these. Here, I'll show you. And I just walked through and seen these and thought, you know what, that would work. And you just glue the 2 of them together, and it kind of makes a bee shape. Okay. So, here, that end there. All right, the next step is you have to paint them. Now, I went to the Dollar Tree and got these little wooden dowels. And I just stuck them on the wooden dowel so that I could paint them. And you paint it all black with some acrylic paint. And you can see the way I added my eyeballs on there. And you paint the little eyeballs. And by putting it on this, it makes it a little easier. You don't get your hands full of the paint. You can just hold your brush out here and paint away. And then I put, these don't stick on here like the heads do. But that's how I did the bottom part of the bumblebee. You always want to leave the butt end of it black and then go yellow, black, yellow. So it ends up like that. And it's easy with this because you can sit here and spin it as you're painting. And you create your bumblebees. I would sit here and bore you to death and paint them, but I think you would probably turn me off. Anyhow, next thing you're going to do is you're going to glue them together. These I already did. So put you, again, another bead of glue on this part. Then you take the head and you glue the head on, like so. When you're done, you have this little bumblebee. Okay? Okay. Now, I'll go ahead and glue both of them. Since I'm here, I'm already doing this. All right. The next step is to make the wings. There you go. See? And for the wings on this one, I used this really sheer looking stuff. I think they call it tulle. I'm not real sure what they call it, but I used that to make the wings. And I actually forgot to bring that out here to the shop with me. Always forgetting something. So I am going to use something else. Here we go. I'll just pull some out of here. I used it in the bow too. All right. Alrighty. Anyhow, what you're going to do is cut you off a piece about that size of whatever material you want to use. Round off the edge like so. But this stuff comes in a roll. You can use ribbon, you can use anything you want to make the wings. I mean, that's up to you. And you just accordion kind of fold it so it forms the wing like this. See, I'm holding the one end. Okay, hopefully you can see that well enough to figure out what I'm doing. All right, then you go back here and you hold it so that you have just the edge of it right here. You add a little bit of glue right there. Hold it against something so you can mat it down with your glue gun tip. Just don't burn yourself. Cool it off a bit. Once it's cool enough to where you can touch it, then you're going to mat down the wing. And see, now you have a little wing. Then all you do is glue your wing on to your bumblebee. I put mine in where the little crease is just because I thought that's where it should go. Show you when I'm through here. Hold on just a second. All right. When you're done, you have this little wing. And you're going to do 2 of those on each one of the bumblebees. Okay? So when you're through with that, you get your bumblebees all set. You're going to go back to your beehive. We want to add the honey to it. So what we're going to do for the honey covers up the seam down here. And make sure you have your gun loaded with all kinds of glue. And you just start feeding the glue in here in this hole at the very base. And as you're feeding, let it drip down. It'll naturally, if you have a good glue gun that gets hot enough, it will naturally drip down on its own and form the honey. If you can see that. Yes, we have to paint it yet. Now, it also looks really cute if you put a little bit, find one of these seams up in here and just do the same thing. Just add it and let it naturally drip down, if you can see that, sorry. And maybe add one right here. Just like that, let it naturally drip. Ooh, it's going far. It's still dripping. All right, then I can see some of that glitter right there, so I'm gonna add some right there. That's a good thing about this too, is it helps you cover up some of that if you missed a spot and you didn't get it close enough. So it'll help you cover some of that up. Okay, now we're letting that cool off. Now while that cools off, you're gonna need some gold paint. I used this because it's what I had on hand, but it's a metallic pure gold is what they call it. And you let your glue on here dry, cool completely up, and set up. Pull off any little strings that it formed, because those are no fun. And squirt you a little bit of glue. There. I have one of these little trays that I use, and it helps to not make such a big mess. Okay, I need this to set up so that we can do this. Come on. Oh, it's getting there. Don't stick your finger in it too much, because then you'll end up with strings and it won't look smooth anymore. All right, it's almost there. And once that gets completely cooled off all these little stringy things that the glue does, then you're just going to take a paintbrush and you're going to take that metallic paint and you're going to paint that glue drippage gold. If you don't like the gold and you'd like to go with a different color or more yellow or something so it stands out, you know, it's your project. You do what you want. Like I said, I had the gold on hand and I didn't want to use the yellow because the yellow I was using for the bumblebees. So I just went with the gold. Kind of gives it a cool look, I think, too, because it's metallic. Alrighty. But you just paint over the glue, the hot glue. It's natural dripping that it did there. Get this one up in here. It almost reminds me of Winnie the Pooh, how he always had a beehive or a pot of honey that was always dripping everywhere. So that's kind of what it reminds me of. All right, one more. Like so. And when you're all finished, oops, wait a minute, let me get the end of this. Make sure you get all the way around the bottom of the drip. And when you're all done, it'll look like that. See the dripping? Isn't that cute? All right. Now that you've got that done, the only thing you have left to do is to glue your bees on. And that's random. You just glue them wherever you want to on your project. And then glue your bow on. And I'm not going to put you through all that, but this is what your end product is going to look like. You're going to have some little bumblebees, and you can change it up and do whatever you want with it. These already came with a hanging device when they were the egg, so I just left it on and worked around it. You can change that out and do something else with it. You can change your bow, make it different if you like. You can even do different bumblebees. If you want some pre-made bumblebees, You can do that too. But I got this little easel from the Dollar Tree, and I think it looks cute to just set it outside or on your porch or something, or in your house somewhere like that. Or if you have some place to hang it, it would be cute hanging also. But I put cardboard on the back of this one because this was my first one, and I had some markings and stuff on the back. But that's it. That's all it takes to make this cute little beehive with bumblebees on it. Um, you'll find a couple of these on my website for sale. They'll be there as long as they last. Um, if you like this and you want to watch more videos, feel free to get on here and watch the other ones. If you want to learn how to make the bows, there is a video that I just posted on how I make my bows. And they're very simple, very easy, and I use them in a lot of my projects. So check that one out and you'll learn how to make the bow. If you want to watch the live videos that we do where you can participate and you can comment and I interact with you a little bit, you'll need to go to my Facebook page called People's Creative Corner and send me a request, and I will approve for you to get on there and be one of our members, and you can watch these live, and they're a lot of fun because everybody's so silly and we have a really good time and we laugh and giggle and everybody laughs at my mistakes and me hurting myself and burning myself. But join us. I would love to have more members on there. Okay. Have a great day. Check out my website. Some of the supplies for some of my projects will be on there, and some of my creations will be on there as well. Okay. Have a great day, and thank you.